Hey guys, want to bring you another YouTube video on a recap of week 17. And so just looking at the scores of January 3rd. So we'll go game by game and the implications. So Dolphins and Bills. So that was very important beginning of the day. Obviously Tua was struggling. Wasn't his best game. Yes, it looks like he had 361 yards, but it is kind of deceiving because he did have some costly interceptions. So they ended up losing by 30 points. Need some help after losing against the Bills. So that was kind of setting up for the rest of the day because they needed some help in that sense to make it. One of the help they would have needed was the Ravens to lose, which they did take care of business to get into the playoffs. Steelers, obviously, the third game of the day. You could see the Steelers, they actually took care of business of resting their players because they figured there's nothing really to play for. Now, the Browns almost cost the game in that sense, so it did not help them in that sense. So that was very disappointing for the Browns because you would have thought they would have won convincingly against a second string team of the Steelers, especially they were resting a lot of their players to make sure that they would be healthy. Vikings finished on a high note. Lions actually, so this game wasn't really that important for any playoff implications. The next game, Jets and Patriots had no implications again, according to the playoffs. I thought the Patriots finished better than expected. Jets locked in either way what's going to be the second pick. Then you had the Cowboys and Giants. That was another important game, early games. Uh, Again, those Cowboys, wow, they blew it. They, even though later on we found out the team, if the Cowboys won this game, they would have actually had a chance to get into the playoffs, but would have still needed some help. So the Cowboys, even without having that rest of the day, wondering and all that if they were going to get into playoffs, they were eliminated early on during the day because of the loss to the Giants. Especially no Saquon Barkley or anything like that. So the franchise of the Cowboys is kind of, I think, very disappointing. Mike McCarthy underwhelmingly underperformed for the team. But yes, they did lose Dak Prescott, but not sure how much of a difference they would have made. Sure, maybe would have made it to the playoffs, but again, for them, they had so much offensive weapons. I thought, yeah, the offensive line wasn't that great all year long, but a lot of people were dealing with a lot of injuries. Look at my Niners; they were dealing with a lot of injuries. So again, it comes back to coaching. I mean, look at the Niners; they pretty much coached pretty well, especially with how many people were out. So that's where I'm very disappointed with the Cowboys, and they have a great wide receiving core too, I think. So next game was the Falcons and Buccaneers. So if the Buccaneers were going to lose, they were going to lose on the opportunity to play whoever was going to win in the NFC East, which again, home field this year does not really matter because of the situation of everybody going on with the pandemic. So that's where the Buccaneers again just gotta make sure that they were healthy and everything. Um, Again, was hurt during the middle of the game, so hopefully he's okay. Haven't heard much information regarding him, but still, the Buccaneers do have a lot of weapons. With Tom Brady, the experience could have that culture for the team, and then you have the Falcons almost play a spoiler, but in the end, you could see in the fourth quarter, 21-7 was pretty much almost a difference maker right there because it again, Buccaneers didn't score in the third quarter, so it made things a lot closer. Now, the Bears needed some help because they either could have won against the Packers and they could have definitely gotten that way, or the Packers wanted to make sure they had that home field. So there was two teams playing for something. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer, but you know what? In the end, the Packers show how good they were. Aaron Rodgers definitely shows how he's an MVP this year. Whether it was drafting Jordan Love to give that spark for Aaron Rodgers to have that same motivation, you know what? The Packers are looking really good. Again, their defense against the run is suspect, but we'll see how well. They did hold David Montgomery to 69 yards, so that is a good sign there. Next one, Raiders and Broncos. Really, it didn't really matter. Raiders pretty much underperformed this season, so there's not much to say about the team. Jaguars and Colts. So this one, I thought the Colts were going to pretty much try to pay back and blow them away because the Jaguars' only win was against the Colts. So, and the Colts again was very where they needed this win. So to control their destiny to get into the playoffs. So they got into the playoffs thanks to that, and then knocked out Miami. So that definitely did not. That was not the outcome Miami wanted. But you know what? That is the. I thought Miami was going to get in, and a lot of experts thought the Colts were going to be the one left out because they were needing some help to get in. So they got the help they needed. Then the next one, Chargers and Chiefs. Chiefs pretty much rested their players, so it didn't matter because they locked the number one seed already. Again, Justin Herbert, amazing quarterback. Makes me wonder now if Miami feels awful for not drafting Herbert, because I know they want to tank. Like last year, a lot of people were like tanking for Tua. But you know what? This is kind of hindsight, like where it really worked out for the Chargers because they drafted Justin Herbert and looks like he could be a great player for the years to come, especially with that division with the Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos. I think the Broncos are quarterback. They need to work on their offense, but boy, Chargers are really up there if they could get a really good coach. Justin Herbert is amazing. So, again, I think Miami definitely feels awful for not drafting Herbert. They had that opportunity and probably could be regretting that. And then next game, the Cardinals and Rams. So, this one kind of hurts the Cardinals because they needed to win and they would have gotten to the playoffs with a win. So, that and then because of the Cardinals' loss, that got the Bears in. So Cardinals had and especially Cardinals have not been to the playoffs for a long time. So they had no one else to blame but themselves because they controlled their destiny. And they could not take care of business against the Rams, especially the Rams was playing with the second string quarterback. But the Rams defense really showed up and took care of their business against the Cardinals. Seahawks and 49ers really didn't matter except seeding for the Seahawks. But, it helps the Niners to get a higher draft pick than if they won this particular game. So, next one, Saints and Panthers. So, with the Saints and Panthers, we thought, and I kind of thought, the Panthers might have a fighting chance or be able to win. Because we thought with the Saints, they lost the running backs, Murray, and then Kamara, and then another backup, and their running back coach, because of close contact tracing with Kamara. So they actually had Ty Montgomery that had to step in as the main running back, but looking at stats, 18 carries for 105 yards. Can't sneeze at that. Panthers could not stop them. So that kind of bodes well for the Saints, even though they did not get the first round bye. That kind of shows how well. But the problem is the Saints could be still without Murray and Kamara because of um, you have to wait 10 to 14 days, I believe, where they have to test negative. So because the timing is cutting it close, so that's where I don't know if they're going to be back by then. Then you have the Titans and Texans. Again, the Titans just had to win out because I believe they controlled their destiny again. As long as they won, that's where the Dolphins would have been eliminated again. So Titans won the South, AFC South, and then also Derrick Henry, a monster game again, 250 yards, shows how valuable he is to that team. It's going to set up a nice, great matchup with the Titans and the Ravens rematch of last year. And then you had the night recap of the Washington football team versus the Eagles. This was very interesting because Alex Smith wasn't playing very well. He threw a couple interceptions and I believe fumbled a couple too, but was able to recover a couple fumbles. But the issue here was that the Eagles actually had a chance to help out the Giants. Now, yes, there could have been conspiracy theory if the Dallas Cowboys was in the hunt and trying to make the playoffs. So the Eagles could have probably played a favor by losing on purpose in that sense, or didn't matter in that sense. Again, the Eagles kind of helped them, I think, with a higher draft pick in that sense, because it doesn't really matter for the Eagles to win, except it helped Washington to get into the playoff. But the Eagles had a chance to win the game, especially help out the Giants, if they kept, I felt like, Hurts. They took out Hurts in, I believe, fourth quarter, and then brought in their backup. Essentially, that was your third string backup because, again, you had beginning of the season Wentz and then Hurts and then this third string. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff matchup. So I could give you a quick thought on that. All right, so if we look at the playoff right now, again, this is the first time they actually extended to 7 teams. The first seed has a bye, so obviously Kansas City and Green Bay from their respective division. And so again, it's 3 games on next Saturday, and 3 games next Sunday. You got wild card on Buffalo versus Indianapolis. Again, these are going to be my rapid fire thoughts, and I might do extended video before the games if things change, because there could be COVID testing or injury during practice. Anything could happen from now till the actual game. But I would say Buffalo should win that game. My next prediction, Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. I think Pittsburgh's going to win that. Again, Cleveland barely won today's game, especially they play against Pittsburgh's second string. Tennessee versus Baltimore. Again, the weather and everything does not really matter, or home field. So this one's a hard game. Like I said, this one's going to be a good rematch, I think. You know what? I'm going to go with Baltimore. So that, because I feel like Lamar Jackson finally has a lot of experience now, and hope that they could stop what's going to be coming of Derrick Henry throughout that game. Then on the other side for the NFC, you have New Orleans versus Chicago. I'm going to go with New Orleans because, again, Chicago was limping. Yeah, Ty Montgomery kind of showed that he could be that. Taysom Hill, I think he could probably help play again since he is that gadget type of player. So I think even they're out with Kamara and Murray, I think they have enough weapons to beat the Bears. Then you have Seattle versus the Rams. That's going to be a good matchup. Again, it's based on the NFC division. Sure, I mean, that one's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go with Seattle since there's no point of home field. But if Jared Goff is still out, I mean, you saw how bad their backup was. Then you have Washington versus Tampa Bay. I would say that's gonna yeah, it should be Tampa Bay easily. But I do like Washington's defense, so that's who. So there's really if I mean if you say a 5 seed, uh, yeah, pretty much I got the 5 seeds on both sides, upsetting the 4 seed. So I mean, again, my other video, I'm happy that Cleveland got into the playoffs, but again, I don't know if they're going to make any noise. If they were maybe playing, if they got the 5th seed, they could have had a chance because they did beat the Titans. So that's the only one I think they would have beat out of those top seeds. So I think that will help because, again, they would have probably moved on and got. Well, no, they would have had the lower seed, so they would have played Kansas City, so that would have been difficult. So, go ahead. What do you guys think of Week 17 wrapping up? Were you guys disappointed with your team? Are you happy with what happened? But yeah, it was an exciting season to wrap up. Definitely enjoyed it for the last day of the regular season. Again, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel. We usually post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if we are able to post other videos during that time, we try to post extra videos if we can. But thank you for your support and watching through the end. You're the true MVP for watching through the whole video. And again, I do appreciate your support and hitting that like button so other people can see it. And together we can build a better tomorrow and appreciate that again.